Hello, YouTube. As soon as I start the video, he walked across. I wanted to come with a video because I've been procrastinating for too long. And my husband checked me on it today. And I just had to get up and come and be honest and be truthful. And I have started over on my channel hundreds of thousands of times. I have made videos, deleted them, made podcast names, deleted them, started over, tried again, broke down, cried, rolled around on the floor. Been having migraines all these past couple of months because I'm trying to do YouTube and trying to come up with ideas and trying to do it all on my own, leaning on my own understanding, even though the word of God tells me not to. And thinking about how the aesthetic of the channel is that I want it to look, the mic I want it to look like, the camera I want to have. And I'm just falling for all these podcasts that I see and admiring what other people have instead of just having that willingness, because it says it in 2 Corinthians. If you have the willingness with the gift that's inside of you, according to what you already have, not according to what you don't have, then I should have been made this video. I just didn't have the willingness. The gift is there. The boldness is there. The confidence is there. But I just wasn't willing to do YouTube videos without the certain type of camera I wanted, without the certain type of microphone I wanted. So I would start over. And I would get one thing and then I would start over. Then I would wait. Then I would say I need this first. Then I would wait. Look, another one passing by as soon as I start the video. But God is the potter and I'm just the clay. And I'm going to be honest and say starting over a million times, it does not feel good. But it's an opportunity for God's glory to be shown. And if you're new to this channel, I don't care if you like, comment, or subscribe, or if you never say nothing. If you want to watch, watch. If I know you in real life, if you think you know me in real life and you're watching this video, you don't know me. That's the truth. Because I be lying. When people ask me how I'm doing, oh, I'm good. I've been fine. I've been terrible. I've been sad. I've been hurting. But sometimes I lie. Because I adapted this certain persona that I felt like a woman of God was supposed to have. Feeling like I shouldn't be going through it because I'm going to church, I'm praying, I'm a newlywed, I got a nice apartment, and I'm living a life. I'm a stay-at-home wife and I don't have to work, and all that is true and all that I am grateful for, but oftentimes when people ask me how I'm doing, oh, I'm fine. Knowing I'm struggling, knowing I don't really have no friends like that, knowing I don't really have no hobbies like that, knowing that I'm still being shaped and molded by God, knowing that some days I could go for a month in straight, consistently praying and reading and fasting, thinking I'm doing everything perfectly right. And then God still has to humble me again and show me that, girl, no, I'm about to break you back. I'm about to break you down and build you back up again because you still ain't where I need you to be. You still ain't embracing that gift that I've placed inside of you. So it be hurting having to start over. But it's beautiful because starting over doesn't mean going back. It doesn't always mean going back to step one. That's what some people don't realize. And if you do have to go back to step one, and if that's what starting over is for you, go back to step one. Make sure your foundation is built upon Jesus Christ, on the rock. So whenever the winds come, you won't be shaken or knocked down. But you might be 10 or 15 years into your journey with the Lord and you have to start over. Go ahead and start over. Because it's really not up to you whether or not you need to start over or not. Because God is the potter. I feel like too many times we're trying to be our own potter and shape and mold ourselves to what we think God wants us to be. We have to bury ourselves into the word of God and allow that word to be active in us. Because his word is active. It is sharper than any two-edged sword. But if we're not applying it to our lives, it's not going to cut the old stuff away from us. If we're just reading it, if we're just hearing it, allowing it to go in one ear, out through the other, then of course, you're going to feel like you're doing it right. You're going to feel like there's no need for you to start over. I read every day. I pray every day. I don't need to start over. Yes, you do. Because you still got the alcohol bottle on the side of your bed. You still got that woman or that man that you stay up to 2 a.m. in the morning lusting on the phone with each other. And that's not your husband. That's not your wife. That's not your kingdom spouse. Stop lying to yourself. He or she not even really a man or woman of God. And you need to cancel them out of your life and start over. With just you and God. With just you and his word. Don't worry about whether or not you never get a chill bump. Don't worry about if you getting some type of experience that other people, that you hear or see other people getting. You get up and you use the tools that God has given you. Do you have the willingness to do? Do you have the willingness to even have a relationship with God? Or do you want him to just do all the work? He's already done his part when he sent his son, Jesus Christ. Now it's up for you to understand the love that God has given us and allow it to be within you as well. And so that's where I keep falling short at. Allowing it and letting my flesh get in the way. These cats fighting bad. The enemy trying to stir something up. And that's how y'all super religious people be. Every time something go wrong in y'all life, the enemy stirring it up. Sometimes it's God. Stop giving the enemy so much power in your life. Nobody, I don't see none of these podcasters talking about this. How hard it is. You see the morning routines and the nightly routines and the brunches that they go on with their sisters and the dates that they have with their husbands. But nobody talk about what it actually feels like having to wake up at 5 in the morning. Y'all show the process of doing it, but y'all don't show how it took y'all really like 45 minutes to actually get out the bed because y'all was struggling and your flesh was in the way. Because don't get me wrong, I have that morning routine where I get up early and I go and I pray. And then I make my breakfast and then I spend my quiet times in the morning with the Lord. But it's not always easy. I don't even be feeling like it sometimes. Because of my flesh. Of course, I want to spend time with God. But these days in this new generation of Christianity with the podcasting and the social media, it's really deceiving. I'm not even like so deceiving and discouraging because you feel as if you see these people and they're doing their spiritual journey and you're seeing what works for them instead of doing what the word tells you to do. I didn't even want to make this video. I didn't even feel like it. Until my husband had to check me on my willingness. I wasn't willing. And I can only imagine, what if Christ wasn't willing to do what God asked him to do for me? Where would I be now? Where would I be right now if my husband wasn't willing every day to get up and go to work? Where would I be if my mom wasn't willing to take care of me when I was growing up? Or my grandmother or my grandfather wasn't willing? The gift is there. God has already made us these people naturally. His word is already written on the tablets of our hearts. And Paul or Timothy, one of them said to stir up that gift that is already within you. That fire. And when I hear people say stirring up that gift, it always make me recall the first time my grandma taught me how to make gumbo. And I put the water in the pot, and then I put the roux in. And I had my chicken cooking in the oven. I had some sausages on the other skillet. But I just kept having to stir that roux in that water. And I just kept having to stir it and stir it. And I kept asking my grandma, I'm like, is this enough? And she like, no, keep stirring it. And I'm like, can I stop now? She like, no, keep stirring it. I took a break. My arm was getting tired. She like, don't stop stirring it yet. You gonna let that burn at the bottom of that pot. So I'm like, she like, make sure you scraping the sides. Make sure you getting it all mixed in there, stirring it together thoroughly. And I'm just like, yes, ma'am. But whenever I hear people say stir up that gift, whenever I see it in the word of God, stir up that gift that God has placed inside of you, you gotta really stir it up. You can't stir it up for a couple minutes and then be like, okay, I stirred it up. It's there. You gotta stir it up daily, day and night. Meditate on his law day and night. Be careful to do all that is written in it. You got to apply that word. You're going to be uncomfortable. If his word is sharper than any two-edged sword, the moment you start applying that word to your life and it's cutting things off of you and you starting to be exposed, the man or the woman who you really are inside is starting to finally show. And then you feel uncomfortable because people starting to tell you, hey, Tori, you didn't talk as much. You didn't talk that much when you first came in. Now we can't get you to stop. And it's like, it's not a backhanded compliment. It's just them saying, hey, we see God is doing something in you. But at the same time, it makes you uncomfortable because you go from being this shy person to being this person that's just talking so much. But really, I've always been this person. It was just sin, iniquity, and the enemy fighting against me that had caused me to go into a shell. But nobody talks about how hard it is coming out of a shell. That is uncomfortable. God shaping and molding you, that is uncomfortable. Blessed are those who are pure in heart. If your heart is pure, that means it has to be purified. Being purified, it hurts. You have to go through fire. You have to go through trial and error. So starting over, it's not bad. Sometimes it just hurts. But there is joy on the other side of it once you keep going, once you get consistent with it. When I first started off my spiritual journey, I didn't start off following God. Well, no, that's a lie. I started reading my Bible, and then I remember seeing this lady on YouTube with the New Age spirituality. She was doing, I think her name was Poe. She had real long freeform locks, and she said, never compare your journey to somebody else's. And she said, don't be afraid to start over as many times as you need to. I remember hearing that back then when I was about 16 or 17, and I was just thinking, girl, bye. I ain't starting over. But as I've been following the Lord for these last 2 or 3 years, as many times as I had to start over, as many times as I had to chew small pieces of the word for days on end without moving on to another word, as much as times I had to do that, I'm grateful because it has allowed me to gain wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and a deeper relationship with the Lord. Me and my husband, we started our relationship over I don't even want to talk about it. We started our relationship over so many times. After every argument, we starting over our relationship. But it's beautiful because we get to see each other being break down and build it up. And we get to be grateful for who each other is becoming each and every day. And it's like we start over. Why are these cats doing this? We start over and we help each other. We nourish each other. We encourage each other to keep going and not to give up. Starting over is better than giving up completely. And Hey. I was looking at Matthew 5, looking at the Beatitudes. Blessed are those who are persecuted. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst after righteousness. Blessed are those who are poor in the spirit. Blessed are those who are merciful. And I was thinking on the one who blessed are those who are merciful. Because if you are merciful, let me slow down. If you are merciful, in order to have to show mercy to others, that means that other people have to trespass against you in order for you to show mercy. That means you gotta forgive, you gotta let go, you gotta be walked on, talked on, stepped on, hurt, broke, in order to show other people mercy. But those are the people that are blessed. These days, this generation got it all backwards. This generation is so backwards and it's so tiresome being a part of this generation, being a part of this women empowerment era and this social media, this AI, these new trends. This is so tiring being a part of this generation. And I don't hear a lot of Christians talking about this enough because too many of us have conformed to it. Too many of us are okay with it. It's many days where I just want to pick up my TV, get my phone, get my husband's phone, and go throw it in the dumpster outside because I'm tired of it. I remember back in the day when if you wanted to see your friend or a family member, you go knock on their door. You send them a letter. But if you call them and they don't answer, you're left with 100 million assumptions of why they didn't answer the phone for you, why they couldn't text you back. And then it just causes discord and strife. Instead of just being able to go knock on their door. Hey girl, how you doing? Oh, I'm busy right now. Can you come back in an hour or two? Okay, sure, that's fine. Or you go knock on their door. They not doing nothing. You go in, you have drinks, you talk about God, and you have a good time with your friend. These days, all you got to do is get on Instagram or Snapchat and watch their story. And you know you can only assume what type of day they have, but you can get some type of mental image of it just by watching the videos and pictures that they post. Some people need to just get outside and touch grass. I love telling people that. Go touch some grass. Get off social media. Get off Instagram. Get off TikTok. I've been telling people lately, I want everything I do to be done in spirit and in truth. Even when I'm cooking. Because I knew how to cook. Look, I knew how to cook before TikTok ever came out. Then when TikTok came out, it's like I forgot how to cook because I'm trying to cook the way my grandma taught me, the way TikTok is doing it, and then I'm trying to add my little twist to it. And then my food coming out tasting weird because it's like I got 3 different influences in my food. You know what? God, you teach me how to cook. I'm going to start over. I'm going to forget the way TikTok told me. I'm going to forget the way my grandma taught me. God, you teach me. And that's why I don't mind starting over. As long as I'm not in the same place I was once I start over. If that makes any sense. If my mindset hasn't changed. If my attitude hasn't changed. If you still got that same attitude, you might need to start over. I heard this preacher preaching. I remember one time my mama, I'm not sorry if you watching this video, it's the truth. You said it. She told me I was being brainwashed at the church I'm going to. And I was watching this pastor last night, Lobius Murray. He said, what's wrong with being brainwashed? We need to be brainwashed. Our mind needs to be cleansed. We need to let go of that old mind and allow that mind of Christ also to be in us. So what's wrong with being brainwashed? I need my brain washed. I need my brain cleansed. I need a whole new brain. Lord, give me that mind of Christ, created me a new heart. I need this to start fresh, brand new, clean, wipe the slate away. Man, these cats bad. Lord help them. But like I said, it's painful starting over. I would hate if I cooked the whole Sunday dinner for my husband and then I had to start over from scratch because I messed up. I would hate if I had to do that because sometimes it take like 2-3 hours to cook that meal. Sometimes you got to start cooking the night before. Are you telling me I gotta start over? But is it gonna give you more knowledge? Is it gonna give you more insight? Are you gonna be able to see where you messed up from and then do better the next time? Yeah. So never be afraid to start over. But this video, I kind of wanted to talk about starting over, and I kind of wanted to just talk about how it is, like, as a woman my age, not really having any hobbies, being a tomboy, having the freeform that I'm finna start. I'm gonna pick my hair out one more time and I'm finna start. This is gonna be my second time doing freeform. First time I did freeform was in the world. And I felt the need to cut off my hair when I started following God for real. But I think that was just this persona of this legalistic religious type of mindset that I had developed once I started going to a church. Because I feel like, no, I can't have my hair like this in here with them. Like, but now I'm finna start freeforming again. This video, it's not that long, but this still gonna be like a podcast. I'm not gonna get no mics. I'm just gonna use my phone because the willingness is here now. I'm willing to do the podcast with just the phone, and I'm gonna talk about my experience as being a young lady, a young woman of God in this day and age. And if you are not new, if you've been on my channel, this is like the fourth episode one that I've had since I made this channel. And I'm going to just pray that I can be consistent. Pray that now that I have been obedient and have got my flesh out the way, that the Lord will open the door, give me new video ideas. And I pray that people can be able to come to this channel and relate to me. And the older women, I pray that y'all be over here, maybe give me some advice. And I pray that people will be drawn to my channel. People was drawn to my channel when I was in the world. I'm still me. Yeah, I changed. Yeah, I'm a woman of God now, but I put on this shirt just to make this video. I still got on my shorts under this shirt. It looked like I'm finna go somewhere nice, but I still got on some shorts under this shirt down there. I still got on some shorts. So I'm not with all that, getting the makeup ready and all that stuff and making the video, because I'm pretty sure Jesus didn't comb his hair before he went in the temple and started throwing chairs and tables and stuff. When he sent the disciples out to go preach to the people, I'm pretty sure I could recall in the word where he told them not to really bring nothing with them, but to just go. And I remember the word saying, come as you are. And they say, come as you are, but you don't have to stay as you are. You're right. But God don't look on the outside appearance. His thoughts is not like our thoughts. And I'm finally back in college. This is like my third time starting over with college. Guess what? This time, making all A's. Guess what? I had to learn from my mistakes. And God gave me the strength. Don't lean on your own understanding trying to do this, because it's not going to work. You have to allow God to be the potter. Stop trying to be your own potter. And that's why you out of shape, because you done shaped yourself the wrong way. That's why you got an attitude with people. And yeah, I don't know if there's anything else I wanted to say, but this kind of just like an introduction video. Basically, I had to start over on this channel. I got a lot of things that I am going to be talking about. I've been going through it, being in this house all day. Still, it's hard being in your 20s as well. It's a big difference being in your 20s trying to do all this, because These days, a lot of people don't go through what I'm going through until they're in their 30s. I'm in my 20s doing all this. 21 at that. Not the late 20s, not the mid 20s. I'm in my early 20s. Trying to navigate life, trying to follow the Lord with the whole heart, with all my strength. And I feel like it's so much deception in the world today. It's so much cap. And I know I'm a tomboy. My husband married me. He knew what I was. He knew how I like to dress. They say you can't wear pants. But I didn't know God cared about whether I had on pants or not. I didn't know God cared about whether or not I had on pants or whether I had my hair covered. He said to worship him in spirit and in truth. He said to love him. The greatest is the greatest command is love the Lord your God with all your strength, your heart, and to love your neighbor greater than you love yourself. Where in that does that mean that I can't wear pants or be a tomboy? I know what I like. My husband know what I like. Aware of those Christian channels with hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying I'm against mega churches or things like that. But beware of it, because the people with the most is often got the most to hide, because they feel like they have a image that they have to show up for and a person that they have to be every day. They're not going to keep it real with y'all about what they really going through, what they really experiencing. They're not going to keep it real how many times they have to start the video over before they actually started flowing. And I'm going to talk about that. But I guess the message of this video could just be starting over. And I can't wait. I'm looking forward to making more videos. Looking forward to meeting new people through YouTube that we could chop it up, talk about God with. And hopefully, like I said before, at least one person that I could relate to, that can relate to me, that might not have nobody else, because I know how that feels. Yeah, that's it.